Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Richenet Lafleur. You can call me Rich for short. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how Bitcoin can make you financially free in the next 10 years. To start off with, I want to ask you guys a quick question. What does financial freedom really means? Please provide me your answer in the comments so that we're able to understand everyone's perspective of financial freedom. My definition of financial freedom is flexibility and self-sovereign. The reason why, because my goal is to be in a position to provide for my community, help my next generation out, and also have ultimate control of my life and my finance. Today, I will share how Bitcoin provides a unique opportunity for long-term wealth business building and provide a 10-year strategy to escape the traditional financial system and take control of your future. Why Bitcoin? Bitcoin have many great attributes. One of them is scarcity. Only 21 million Bitcoin will ever exist. It's digital gold. Number two, store value. Bitcoin protects against inflation and currency debasement. And number three, the most important one right now, as we see our world changing, the growing adoption. Institution, governments, and individuals are embracing Bitcoin as their reserve asset. The world is changing right now, and we have to stay focused because we are going through a financial shift where we are leaving the fiat standard and moving towards a Bitcoin standard. It will take time, but if you are the early adopters, this will bless you in the future because you are taking the initiative to learn about Bitcoin and put yourself in the best position. Right now, as we look at Bitcoin, the current price is at 78,000. Bitcoin have been going down lately due to the new tariff news, the tariff policy that are being placed on our outside country, and that's affecting the world, that's affecting the US. Donald Trump goal right now is to reset the economy, reset the American system so that the individual that's living in society of the American system are able to utilize the financial the way that it should be utilized. So with Bitcoin going down, it's a great time to buy as much as possible because as they go back up to all-time highs, you will put yourself in a better position. And also I wanted to talk about this article that ties to our lesson for today. And basically it's mentioning about how Michael Saylor had provided information, I believe last year, that in the next 10 years, Bitcoin will be mined almost completely, where there will be only at least 1% left of Bitcoin by 2034 or 2035. And as we continue being in this digital gold rush, we're going to see a lot of new institutions buying up as much Bitcoin as possible because they realize that it's a great store of value, able to build your business to the next level, and it's sound money. Bitcoin is one of the best investment right now because you have ultimate control of it. Nobody could tell you what to do with it. So you want to take advantage right now as the world is changing. And as I scroll down, just wanted to read a little bit of the comments that have been written on this article. And with Mike saying, I think that we're in a Bitcoin gold rush era. It started in January of 2024 and it will run until about November of 2034. And the reason why he said it started in January 2024 because that's when the Bitcoin spot Bitcoin ETF have been released, allowing people to buy ETF that are backed by Bitcoin from different institutions. And that was one of the great projects that these institutions have created with the Bitcoin ETF that was able to bring in a large amount of stock to flow into those investment vehicles. So as we starting to understand that Bitcoin is being favored right now in the world, as us individuals, we want to take advantage of it right now. Another information that I wanted to speak out on this article, Michael Saylor said that by the year of 2035, 99% of all Bitcoin will have been mined. That 2035 will mark the start of the growth phase. Today, roughly 93.5% of the 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be issued have been mined, according to Buy Bitcoin Worldwide. And with that information is basically giving us an understanding that we have less than 5% of Bitcoin that will be mined in the future. So it's going to be a lot of activities going on that people want to acquire their one or as much sats as possible to put themselves in a position to be close as the 1% in this Bitcoin ecosystem. To continue with our lesson for today, wanted to break down the 10-year Bitcoin strategy. I only have 3 steps to follow to be successful in these next 10 years. To start off with, number 1, accumulate and educate. First, set a clear goal to acquire at least 1 Bitcoin over time. Read Bitcoin books, listen to Bitcoin podcasts regularly to stay informed and aware of the market trend. Set up a dollar cost averaging plan to buy Bitcoin consistently. That can be weekly or monthly or every single day, depending how much money that you have to buy Bitcoin. Learn self-custody your Bitcoin using a cold wallet. Set up your own Bitcoin node to contribute to the network decentralization and sovereignty. And the last piece, I believe that is fun. Consider mining Bitcoin or investing in a mining operation as a way to earn while you hold. With step number 1, it will allow you to enter into the Bitcoin rabbit hole completely, because as you learn about Bitcoin, you want to start doing different things and you want to put yourself in the best position. So with this quick first step, is basically the best way to orange pill yourself to learn about Bitcoin by reading books, listen to different Bitcoin podcasts, dollar costing averaging so that you're able to acquire as much sats as possible. Learn self-custody because you want to protect your Bitcoin and have the best security. Setting up your own node will allow you to understand what's going on in the Bitcoin ecosystem, having more privacy with your Bitcoin, understanding your transaction, and seeing all the activity of what's going on in the blockchain. And last of least is mining Bitcoin. Being able to mine at your own house or whatever warehouse that you have. Mining Bitcoin is another piece of this rabbit hole. And if you're able to hit a block, you'll put yourself in a great position. With me sharing these information, I always like to give different kinds of references to share with you guys so that you are able to utilize the information that I'm providing. And the different kinds of Bitcoin books and podcasts you guys should listen to and read, I will give you a quick resource of those kind of things. So I have Googled the most popular Bitcoin books to read. I have shared this on my first episode of book recommendation to read about Bitcoin. I have read a couple of Bitcoin books. I am still diving deeper and deeper into those Bitcoin books to expand my knowledge. And this is a quick list of great books to read on Bitcoin. My favorite so far is the Bitcoin Standard. I have also read Thank God for Bitcoin and a lot others, such as The Price of Tomorrow, Why Fiat Ruins Everything. And as you continue learning more about Bitcoin, you want to expand your knowledge and expand your perspective so that you're able to share the information that you're learning about it to the next person. Here is another resource that you guys should look into to learn more about Bitcoin. is by going on YouTube, typing in Bitcoin University. This is a great channel to learn about Bitcoin. Matthew Crater is a great person to listen to because he's always providing different perspective when it comes to Bitcoin, what's going on in our news, different ways to keep yourself safe, and also just making sure that we are aware of what's going on in the market when it comes to Bitcoin. Another great brother is Chris Johnson. This person is a great guy to listen to. He been into the Bitcoin space, I believe, ever since last year, where he made a goal to acquire 1 Bitcoin by sharing that information with his Wealth Squad. And he continues sharing information about Bitcoin on X and making a Bitcoin podcast by bit. Today, he released his 8th episode, and he's a great person to listen to because he will give you the certain kind of mindset that you need when it comes to acquiring Bitcoin. There's a lot of noise that's going on, and you don't want to distract yourself by following the wrong person. A great podcast app to utilize is called Fountain. Fountain is a app where you're able to listen to different Bitcoin music and Bitcoin podcasts. My favorite one right now is This Week in Bitcoin by Chris Fisher. This is a great podcast to listen to every week because he also talks about what's going on in the market, provide different resources to utilize this Bitcoin ecosystem by sharing information about how to store your Bitcoin safely, the different kinds of exchange that where you can buy Bitcoin, how to borrow against your Bitcoin, and most importantly, just giving you his Bitcoin journey and being real about what's going on in the ecosystem. This is a great Bitcoin price tool to utilize because, as I mentioned about dollar cost averaging, you want to find your favorite exchange or have different kinds of exchanges to utilize so that you're able to buy Bitcoin. On my first episode, I mentioned that I like Strike. I utilize Strikes a lot, but there's other ones that are great, such as Fold, Swan, Cashapp, River. I don't want to vouch for Coinbase because Coinbase have been debanking people, so I prefer to use only Bitcoin exchanges to buy Bitcoin. The different kind of cold wallets that you guys should look into is the Blockstream. Blockstream is a great company where they create their own Bitcoin only products. Currently, right now, I have recently purchased a Blockstream Jade Plus. I love it. It's great to use because I'm able to store my Bitcoin safely. I prefer Bitcoin only wallets because if you buy a Ledger wallet, there's nothing wrong with it, but you are putting yourself in a position to get hacked because you are mixing your Bitcoin with altcoins, and you don't want to mix your Bitcoin with shitcoins because you're just making your stash very you're putting your stash in a position to get hacked. So utilize Bitcoin only wallet. If you are into cryptocurrency, please separate your Bitcoin from your altcoin so that you are not doing a disservice for yourself. So Blockstream Jade is a great device to purchase. Another great device to buy as a cold wallet is the Code Card. The Code Card is another great device. I haven't purchased it as of yet, but soon I will because I want to be able to put myself in a position to have multi-sig and having the best product at the time when it comes to security. As I mentioned on the first step, you want to find a way to install a Bitcoin node. Start9 is a great company to buy a Bitcoin node. I am still new to this space when it comes to the Bitcoin node. The Bitcoin blockchain is something that I'm pushing myself to learn by becoming more technical. But if you guys are interested in buying a device, a server that will allow you to have a Bitcoin node, I would say start with the Start9. There's other vendors that give you server to create and install to make your own Bitcoin node, but the Start9 is a great place to start at. And as I mentioned, the fun part about Bitcoin mining. Mining is another piece when it comes to the Bitcoin rabbit hole because you'll be able to mine Bitcoin at your house. As long as you got the power, you got the right equipment, you're able to hit a block. I think this is very fun for anyone that want to get into mining. All you have to do is just do some research, buy the right kind of equipment to mine Bitcoin, and utilize X because there are a lot of people on X that have a BitX or a different kind of Bitcoin miner to mine Bitcoin. So, with me sharing the first steps on this journey of the 10-year Bitcoin strategy, this will help you become successful. Step number 2, hold and build. Be patient. Volatility reward long-term holder. Explore ways to earn Bitcoin through jobs, freelance work, or BTC-friendly platform. The reason why I say hold and build because as we are in this 10-year journey of seeing Bitcoin change the world, you want to put yourself in a position to be patient. Be patient for the long-term gain that you will be able to acquire when the time is right. You don't want to be in a position that you are trying to make your life move faster than it should be moving. You want to be patient. You want to focus on making sure that you are healthy, building projects or building businesses to impact people in a great way by providing service to your community. And most importantly, just take your time. There's a lot of things that's going on right now, and you don't want the noise to distract you. You don't want the volatility to make you sell or put you in a position where you think life is over. This is part of the cycle as we go through a bull market to a bear market, and sometimes we have recession, a mini correction of what's going on in the economy to make things right in the future. So please, please hold and be patient. Don't focus on the price right now because the price will change in the future. Just focus on finding ways to build yourself to the next level. Number 3, leverage and multiply. As Bitcoin value grow, borrow against it by using BTC-backed loan. Avoid selling your principal. Reinvest into income producing asset like real estate or small businesses. And most important that I'm utilizing right now is use your Bitcoin knowledge to educate others and potentially create an income stream. This is very important as we are in this day and age is to build yourself. Build yourself to become an entrepreneur, to become a creator, because it will allow you to utilize the system that we're in right now. And you don't always want to rely on the government or rely on a corporation to make your life better. You want to be in a position where you are able to grow and be a self-made man or a self-made woman. Nobody's going to make your life easier. So you have to invest in yourself every possible way, no matter what. With this step, number 3, when it comes to borrowing against your Bitcoin, I am still new into this area. I haven't done this as of yet, so I don't want to give you the wrong information. But I'm starting to see a lot of different products, a lot of different companies are introducing that product to allow people to borrow against their Bitcoin. So once that comes out, I believe Strike is going to release that product very soon, maybe at the end of April or in the summer. But that's another way for you to multiply and grow your Bitcoin by borrowing against it. Also, reinvest into income producing asset such as real estate or small businesses. You can utilize those kind of financial vehicle to extract the profit that you are receiving from those assets to buy more Bitcoin. And that is a great way to put yourself in a better position because the more Bitcoin that you have, the better your life gets. In year 10, as I mentioned earlier with the article about Michael Saylor, by 2035, 99% of all Bitcoin will be mined. Bitcoin may become one of the most valuable assets on earth due to its fixed supply and increase in demand. If you're constantly stacked sats, you could now be in a powerful financial position with more freedom, option, and influence. What to expect by 2035? Bitcoin will be significantly harder to contain, only 1% left to mine. Global adoption will likely surge across country, company, and individual. Even holding a fraction of Bitcoin could be life-changing. With us in 2025, 2035 is right around the corner. So you don't want to waste your time right now by doing things that doesn't allow you to grow or making you waste time. Time is very valuable at this moment because everything is changing. We are moving into a digital economy. We have AI that's constantly growing and becoming more and more of a way of how we utilize our everyday living. And a lot of new things are coming, but don't let those distractions put you in a position where you're not able to grow. Just focus on stacking as much Bitcoin as possible. Stay healthy. Take care of your family if you have one. Make sure that you are contributing something positive into the economy and continue educating others about Bitcoin. Avoid these mistakes. Panic selling during dips. Bitcoin is volatile by nature. Leaving your Bitcoin on exchange, not your keys, not your coin. That's very important. If you have Bitcoin on any of exchanges, such as Strike, something that I vouch a lot, please take it out. Please put your Bitcoin on a cold wallet so that you are able to secure your keys safely. And also, you'll be able to have ultimate control of your Bitcoin when it's in a cold wallet. Chasing altcoins and meme coins are not the wave. Focus on Bitcoin because it has proven long-term value. If you are investing in altcoins or meme coin, please don't have a lot in those areas. If you believe they will reach a certain number, cool. But always remember, make sure that you have a higher amount of Bitcoin in your crypto portfolio. If you have more crypto than Bitcoin, you are not doing a good thing at all. You believe in those projects will be better than Bitcoin. Bitcoin have been here for almost 16 years. Please put your money in a sound financial commodity such as Bitcoin. Final thoughts and call to action. If you are new into the Bitcoin space, please start now. You can invest and buy a small amount of Bitcoin. And once you do, constantly buy Bitcoin over time because the more that you have, it will add up. You will see that you may get close to 1 Bitcoin. You may have a large amount of sats that you were able to acquire while Bitcoin was dipping. So constantly keep buying. Don't let the price give you any kind of fear or making it feel like it's too late. It's never too late to buy Bitcoin because even though we have 5% that will be mined in these next couple of years, it's a great time to buy as much as possible. Bitcoin is going down, so that allows you to get more sats out of your purchase, and it's going to be a fun journey. Stay disciplined. The goal is freedom, not fast profit. Your future self will thank you for the sats you stacked today. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in to my episode. I believe this is a great way for you to acquire 1 Bitcoin in these next 10 years. And you have to be very consistent. You have to make sure that you are being hungry and thirsty to make your life better. Nobody's going to make your life better. The world is changing. Things are not getting better or easier for us As we noticed with the pandemic, COVID changed the world, and the world is changing even more as we enter into this new era of technology. I appreciate everyone for tuning into my episode. Please like this video, share it with a friend or a family member, leave a comment, give me some feedbacks on what I could have done better or what other information I could have shared. And thank you. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Continue stacking sats, stay humble, and stay blessed. Thank you.